One bill that you've been very active in has to do with cleaning up the Everglades. What are the most important parts of that bill?
Good question. Thank you. The most important parts is that we are finally going to restore the Everglades in a fashion that is hopefully the last piece of the puzzle for complete restoration and cleanup of the water. What we're doing is we're restoring the water quality and quantity going into the Everglades so we can assure the river of grass comes back and is pollution free. So it's an $880 million bill over the next 13 years that's been appropriated. And we've got a good bill. This bill also protects our ag industry and recognizes that the ag industry is paying its fair share as part of the EAA taxes. So agriculture is on board with this. The environmental folks are on board with this bill. And essentially we're building more stormwater treatment areas throughout the Everglades area, and which will clean the water supply and allow additional flow of water and additional water supply to South Florida.
How critical is it that the Everglades be cleaned up to Florida and South Florida?
When you look at the Everglades, obviously they're the eighth wonder of the world. There's no other environmentally sensitive area anywhere in the world like the Everglades. The Everglades supplies all the water, to that South Florida area, is responsible for most of the drinking water and fresh water. There's also lots of agricultural business that's in that area. I believe we supply 80% of the vegetables in the eastern United States during the wintertime from that area. So it is critical. The Everglades cleanup and restoration are critical to our long-term survivability of safe, affordable, abundant food and water supply.
This type of project has been on the table in Tallahassee for I don't know how many years. I've been here to observe this. What did it take to get all the parties to come together and say, we're going to do this?
We had a lot of help this year from various groups. The House took up a similar bill early in session, but what we had to do is we had to bring the industry and the environmental folks together and let both of those groups know that they were both on a fair, level playing field, and that the table was not going to be tipped in either one of them's direction, and that we expected real results. And obviously we had input in that process, and it took several months and maybe a year, and we finally come up with something that made a lot of sense for everyone, protected everybody's values and at an affordable value. And I have to give the governor credit. Obviously the governor negotiated with the EPA to allow the state to take this back from the EPA, and did a very good job negotiating that in the court system.